Hello, Chosen One. Have you ever felt like your name has been cast under a light that doesn't truly represent who you are? You see, reputation is an intriguing thing. It's often shaped not by your true essence, but by what others choose to perceive, what envy deems true, what misunderstanding allows to persist, and what projection cannot let go of. Many have judged you based on the direction you were heading, not the place you currently occupy. They glimpsed future potential and mistook it for your present reality. Speaking into that misinterpreted space, you were in a phase of evolution, still mending, still growing, still becoming. You didn't protest or become defensive. You allowed them to say what they needed to say and watch what they thought was your decline. But know this, it was never a decline. It was a quiet ascension. Now, unseen energies are shifting. The divine has decreed that truth will align with your name. There is a heavenly intervention at play, one that will straighten the record. Not through your effort, not through your explanations, not through retaliation, but through a revelation so powerful that no falsehood can endure against it. For what others failed to perceive, you were never meant to be confined by their misrepresentations. They spoke of a version of you that wasn't fully formed, underestimated the power of healing, and overlooked what was being nurtured behind closed doors. Your resilience, your integrity, your voice honed, your character refined. You didn't rush to prove anything. That was your strength. You let silence bear the burden, allowed time to show what intention could not. And now comes the unveiling. Theirs, not yours. Those who understated your name because your presence was disconcerting to them. Those who called your depth too much because they were committed to staying at the surface level. Those who spread rumors about you, hoping those rumors would eclipse your truth. But the divine is about to ensure every false utterance is drowned by revelation, and the truth will outpace them all. You will walk in spaces where they once avoided you, and this time they won't be able to ignore you. You will utter words that they once dismissed, and now those words will carry immense weight. You will stand in the spirit you were always meant to carry, and they will acknowledge its significance. For this is what's happening. Your energy has transformed. Meanwhile, the divine is recalibrating how people perceive you. Not to inflate ego, but to reestablish truth. This isn't merely a glow-up. It's a dismantling of misconceptions. You weren't performing for applause. You were healing quietly, growing privately, laying down a foundation out of sight. And because you didn't broadcast every struggle, many assumed nothing had changed. They were mistaken. This is not about revenge. This isn't karma. This is the divine stepping in, declaring enough. It's time they confront the truth. The truth about who you truly are. You never needed a platform. You only needed alignment. And now that alignment is becoming evident, you will notice a change in how people speak to you, sensing the respect sown into new opportunities, in how those who once disregarded you now hesitate before mentioning your name. Because your presence now carries an undeniable weight. This is the fruit of faith maintained even when hope was faint, of trust held tight during the silent times, of persevering when the world murmured you were incorrect, when you wondered if you imagined the calling, if your dreams were too grand. Yet something within you kept holding on because you sensed something sacred in the narrative that others couldn't see. You have existed in the in-between, too enlightened for those who prefer shallowness, too stable for those who desire grandeur without roots, too kind to harbor bitterness, too perceptive to remain unaware. You have endured the judgment of being assessed before your time. But that chapter is closing because heaven is rewriting the narrative. Not to inflate self-importance, but to amend what was wrongly conveyed. When divine favor is assigned, it doesn't wait for human endorsement. When the time comes to be recognized, the fire within you will blaze visibly. Understand this, your reputation isn't being restored. It's being rewritten from the core. They saw your silence as a sign of weakness. They mistook patience for inaction. They read humility as unreadiness. Yet none of that was weakness. It was strategy, and now timing has evolved. This is the moment when your true self begins to outshine what they assumed you were. Opportunities that once bypassed you will now come back, and this time they will remain, because the divine has already marked you approved where you were once turned away. You'll sense it happening not just because they suddenly smile, but because resistance starts to sound like respect. Those who dismissed you will change their tone, maybe not with apologies, but with unmistakable recognition. You were never meant to be boisterous to be validated. You were meant to be steady. You were meant to grow silently when no one was looking. You learned generosity when resources were scarce. You observed. You analyzed. You gained wisdom through adversity when tears were your only teacher. All that groundwork is now indisputable. This unveiling of your true self isn't fabricated. It's spiritual. Your unseen foundations have upheld you. What people saw as delay was divine preparation. What looked like tardiness was actually support from unseen faithfulness. When backed by the divine, no human narrative can overrule what is divinely ordained. Your reputation is beyond what others speak of. It's the echo of your life without words. Your life is about to echo something new. It will show as recognition, genuine, respectful, and rightful. Beyond that, it will manifest as peace. Peace within your being, calm in your spirit. You'll enter spaces that once stirred fear and remain steady. You'll hear judgments you used to bear, but they will deflect because they no longer resonate. You will sense the envy, the projections, yet you'll walk past them. Why? Because this reputation isn't something you handle anymore. It is handled for you by the divine. Soon, opportunities will arise that don't match your resume. They will come through favor, not formula. Your name will be placed on doors your effort alone couldn't unlock, not because you sought visibility, but because your authenticity, your becoming, has reached a tipping point. You stopped defining yourself by past failures. You stopped explaining your radiance. You stopped altering your spirit for those determined to misinterpret it. And now, everything is aligning. Those who witnessed your journey in silence will start acknowledging it publicly. Those who dismissed you will alter their voices, not because they fully grasped you, but because they cannot ignore what you embody. And listen attentively. You don't need to seek vengeance. What's coming is far greater. It's what happens when the divine removes the mist from your reflection. When clarity is restored, you aren't making a debut. You are being uncovered. And that distinction matters because anyone can cause a stir. Only those chosen rise through alignment. Only those selected are uplifted without their essence being compromised. That is who you are. You didn't strive to be noticed. You endeavored to remain true when unseen. Because of that, this transition won't merely be public. It will be everlasting. So proceed with confidence. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. Your presence communicates. Your journey speaks. Your life reveals the truth. Despite what was previously believed, they now witness who you genuinely are, and they won't be able to avert their gaze. Let me anchor this message with Scripture because every promise you sense here lives within sacred words. In Luke 8-17, Jesus says, "For nothing is concealed that will not be disclosed, and nothing hidden that will not be made known." There is a moment when the divine reveals what has been in the shadows. Likewise, in Matthew 10:26, he declares, "So do not fear them, for nothing is covered that will not be revealed, nor hidden that will not be known." Trust in your season of revelation as it is destined. And Proverbs 2:2.1 reminds us, "A good name is more desirable than great riches. Favor is better than silver or gold." Let this guide you. Guard your heart. Remain true internally, even if your external world doesn't yet fully reflect that truth, because the divine owns your reputation. He is the guardian of truth, the one who will vindicate you when others have misunderstood, misjudged, misrepresented. In times when slander and rumors sought to define you, Romans 8:28 carries this promise. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who've been called according to His purpose. For the divine is working even through challenging seasons, orchestrating all towards something that aligns with His divine intention, your true identity secured by His sovereignty. So today, embrace this. Your story isn't derailed. It's being refined. Your reputation isn't destroyed. It's being rewritten. And you no longer carry the burden of proving who you are. Your life is becoming the evidence. Step into your calling with peaceful courage. Occupy space. Speak the necessary truth. Let your hidden light shine so brightly that every false portrayal fades away. This is your moment. Your name is being reclaimed. Your truth is being unveiled. And the world will recognize that what was once underestimated is vital. What was once overlooked carries weight. What was once misrepresented is being set right. Move ahead not with fear, but with steadfast conviction. You are being unveiled. You are ascending. Thank you for engaging with us, allowing this message to reach you. If this resonates with something within you, please share it. May it uplift someone else. Stay connected with Chosen by God, maintain faith, and let the unveiling unfold.